Hello everyone, welcome to day 21 of my 77-day video challenge. Today I am going to talk to you all about 5 best books that I read in 2023. Out of 100 books I read, it is so difficult to bring up only 5 books, but I made my best effort to bring you all the top 5 or the best 5 books you should consider reading. So let me share briefly the details about all those 5 books. The very first one is top 5. Top 5 is this mindful work. So this talks about mindfulness at workplace. Like typically we talk about or we think about meditation, mindfulness is maybe daily practice at home or maybe at a yoga studio or some things like that, right? But this mindful work talks about how to bringing meditation and mindfulness into workplace and also businesses, like how huge companies like Target or Aetna or General Mills or even Google is bringing mindfulness and meditation or emotional intelligence into workplace. It talks about some programs. Basically, one that is of very interesting to me was from Google. They have a program called Search Inside Yourself. Think about it, that itself is so fascinating, right? Instead of searching about all about outdoors, search inside yourself. It is a program based on emotional intelligence and mindfulness, and that program is in Google. So this book talks about that program also, and one other program called Mindful Leadership as well. So that is what is of interest to me in that book, or what I learned in that book, how companies are bringing meditation and mindfulness into workplace as well. So that is mindful work. And now my next top 4 is this book, The Power of Unwavering Focus by Mr. Dandapani. So this book talks about multiple things, how about developing dedicated focus and also strong willpower. So he's a monk, and sometimes we think like some practices spoken by these monks and the people, we think like they are in a remote place, they are in a kind of a different facility, so it is easy for them to do those kind of practices. But this Mr. Dandapani, he lives right in the middle of New York, and he tells us what kind of practices we can practice in our day-to-day life to bring that strong willpower and unwavering focus. I will briefly tell you about that. So what he talks about is sometimes we say like I am sad or I am disappointed or I am, we think like it's our thing, like whatever that emotion we are feeling it is us. But instead of that, what he talks about is in our mind, we have those small rooms or sections like sadness, disappointment, love, or hope or happiness, something like that. And whenever we are feeling that emotion, our awareness is going into that particular room, like into that sad room or into that angry room or maybe disappointed room, something like that. We are taking our emotion we are taking our awareness into those rooms, and that is what we are feeling. But ultimately we ourselves have that key or have that power to bring that awareness from that room to a different room of maybe happiness, maybe hope, maybe joy, something like that. So that is really a very pretty cool different kind of a perspective is what I learned from that book. And many more things are there. Please check it out, The Power of Unwavering Focus by Mr. Dandapani. That was my top 4. And now coming to my top 3, this is about intentional living by Mr. John Maxwell. So what this book is all about is we all want to bring some significance into this world. We all want to serve something bigger than ourselves, or leave a mark or leave a legacy, and also serve something higher or to the community, some things. But we all sometimes think that we have that worry or fear, hey, we have to be in certain shape, certain stage, certain thing, then only we will be able to contribute to the society. And we need to have a brilliant idea in order to bring some difference into this world. Some things, some kind of misconceptions or some kind of a fear or some kind of a worry. But that book talks about we don't need to be anything or any form that to bring significance into this world. We just need to have that intention that I want to serve other people, or I want to bring value to other people. Just that intention. And it also shows us that first step. Taking that first step is the hard thing, but then it shows us a follow. It gives us a path, or it shows us a path which we can follow to create a life that matters. So that's what I really love that book about. And intentional living by John Maxwell. That is my third book. Now my top two, I really cannot decide between my two and one, but still somewhat, I mean, both of them are my number one, but still I'll show you. Maybe my number two is this, Tools of Titans by Tim Ferriss. So this book, see, if you see this, maybe some 750 pages book or something like that. This book is so thick, and I mean, it's brilliant. So Tim actually interviewed some maybe 100 plus most influential people, or people who have achieved many different things or accomplished many wonderful things. And he interviewed them, and they all give their best advice, or how are their daily routines, or what are their daily rituals, or what are their best habits. And they also talk about something they made a purchase of for a very small amount that made a remarkable difference in their life. So where else we'll get such kind of wisdom in one simple book, in one single book of all those people, right? So that's what I love that book. And I it's not just one time, I read it multiple times in a year and every time whenever I read it, I get something interesting from that, or something which I can adopt in my day-to-day life, maybe from relationships, or maybe the daily practices what we do, or daily habits, or maybe at workplace something to improve myself, or to help bring up with my team, some things like that, or with my students, something or other, health, relationships, you name it, and you get some advice based on that particular thing. So that is what I love that book. And now my top one is this one, The Untethered Soul by Mr. Michael Singer. So this book is all about some questions, what we think of, how to go beyond our journey, how to take ourselves beyond our life, and how to bring that inner calmness and serenity into our daily life. And much more than that, it also says that the journey beyond yourself. So this book, again, I read it numerous times. Every year I read this book, maybe since last few years, and I read it different ways, from front to back to front, or middle to front, or middle to back, some things like that. And otherwise I'll just randomly open one particular chapter and read it. It is very deep. I'm still trying to understand the concepts in this book, but I think they are important. They are important to understand ourselves, and to take our mind, or bring that calmness into our mind, and to take us the journey beyond ourselves. So that is what that book is all about. So these are my top five books from 2023, friends. I hope you will one of them created interest in you to know more about that book. And please share with us what are your favorite books, what you read last year, or any time, like all time kind of, what are your favorite books. And please share with us. Maybe we will start reading one of those books as well. And did you read any of these books? What are your thoughts about that? Do you agree that they make that kind of an impact to you also? So please share your thoughts. I'll be more than happy to read them. All right. I hope you enjoyed this session, and I will see you all in my next. Thank you.